following broadcast is not.
Well, we are back again. It is Friday for another day of
Talk Therapy Live, y'all.
Therapy Live.
Where it's all the way live.
It's all the way live.
All the time.
All the time. I'm happy to be alive. Happy to be all the way alive.
You say all the way live.
All the way alive.
Well, how are you like half alive?
We'll talk about that later. But I'm all the way live.
All right.
For sure.
Well, I want you all to know that you are listening to a Gold Chip communication station.
Yeah.
You can go to www.1580thepraise.com and click on Listen Live.
Listen live or listen all the way live.
I don't think that button's on there. But...
You know? Hey. Really? So listen, on this wonderful Friday, we have some things to talk about that are of great importance, right?
Indeed.
This country is going through some stuff.
My Lord.
Right? So, hey, we have a lot to talk about. And we're going to kind of continue our conversation as far as anxiety.
Indeed, yes.
Right, which I have a little bit right now.
Why?
I don't know. We'll talk about that later.
I just want you to know that some anxiety is normal,
well,
okay?
Maybe this is my norm.
But let me start off and say this while we're waiting on people to come in. And good morning, Mary Stevenson is here. But I thoroughly enjoyed the 29th pastoral anniversary.
I did as well. I was glad I was able to attend.
Yeah, I'm glad you were there too, Bishop.
I'm glad I was there.
Something wrong with
it's
y'all.
It's true. I'm happy.
But I'm telling you, Lady DeCarlo and Pastor Peterson, they really brought that word. They brought the word, and I was so encouraged.
Yeah, great encouragement, not only to the both of us, but I believe to the church as well.
Absolutely.
You know, so those two women of God really brought that word for real.
That's right. That's
right. So, hey, thanks to both of them, Pastor Peterson and also Sister DeCarlo.
That's right. Thank you all so much. Ophelia is here. Good morning to you. So, like you said, we started off week before last because we weren't here last week talking about anxiety. You know, I see so many clients. I'm telling you, it is so many. The vast majority of my clients is depression and anxiety. Wow. But I'm telling you, since like COVID, it's been through the roof. And since we have like a new president in office, it's been through the roof. So much has been going on.
So business is booming. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Yes,
I heard
it is.
Director would say that as well.
Hey, and it could be due to a lot of stress too, right?
I'm sure it's stress related.
Right. Yes. Yes. Jill Walker's here. And we want you all to chime in also. We're talking about anxiety today, how it affects you and what you do what are your coping skills that you utilize also.
Wow.
And also, did you know that this month is National Smiley Month?
I did not. Did you just make that up? I've never heard that before in my life.
I didn't. So in 1963, what is his name? Bill
Frown.
No, hold on, y'all.
Bill Frown.
I'm going to get this right. So it is National Smiley Month, and his name is Ball, actually, Harvey Ball. Yes, because people need it, and he came up with the smiley face.
Oh, really?
Yes. Okay. And I'm telling you, a smile is so contagious.
It is.
You know, and we should give that more. In these days, we need that, and it's free.
They say it takes more muscles to frown than it does to smile.
That's right. Absolutely. Yeah. And then you're doing yourself a favor, too, because you're releasing those endorphins when you smile. But whatever you do, the chemicals in your body is going to respond to whatever behaviors you have.
Yeah.
So, if you smile, you're going to feel good. If you frown and your face is balled up, the same effect. So make somebody smile, to do something nice for somebody, right?
And that could just be a smile.
Yeah, it could just be a smile.
Really?
And it could be.
It's the universal language.
It is.
One of them.
Absolutely.
It
is.
Yeah.
It crosses all barriers, all boundaries. You know what I mean? Just
There's so many ways that you can smile.
What's some of them ways, Bishop?
Well, two I know of is, spread your lips across your teeth. It's smile. The second way is
like this.
Then if you don't have any, you just kind of spread them and.
Hey, ain't no shame in the game for some people. Yeah, teeth or no teeth, they gonna smile.
You're right.
You know what I mean? Say, hey, whatever you're working with, let's bring it on. But make somebody smile, even if it's an act of kindness.
For sure.
Or something. Do something this month to make someone smile.
I think it eases the tension.
Yes.
Like if you're just entering into a room or whatever, the person coming in, you smile and you speak and you say hello.
Can you now you all know what that feels like if you're sitting in the room and someone comes in with an attitude.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It just it sucks all the air out of the room.
For sure.
Versus someone come in with a smile on their face, like, good morning, everyone. Yeah. That's completely different.
Most definitely.
So what I want you all to do, if you can, if you will, go to Talk Therapy Live on my Facebook page and post your smile.
Post your smile.
I'm going to be the first. After we get off the show, we're going to post our smiles.
Is that right? It's hard for me to do it. It's hard for me to do it.
You smile
on
all
demand,
the time.
But it's hard for me to do it on demand.
Well, just don't think about it, because that's your autopilot.
They say, well, hey, let's take a picture, and then someone tells you to smile. I can't do it.
Yeah, he's rough. And y'all know the pictures he takes.
I really can't.
But he smiles like all the time. So I think I'm just going to sneak some shots in. Jill, I'm just going to sneak some shots in, okay?
You have. Yeah. Which causes me great anxiety. So just breathe. We're right on top.
Just breathe. Inhale and exhale. Okay. All right. So last time we talked about some of the reasons that society produces anxiety in us. We talked about, the crime. Yeah. We talked about prices going up. Yeah. Their relationship. We talked about relationships.
Anxiety. Yeah.
Ooh-wee. Because
yeah, for sure.
And we could have stayed there for a while, because if you're living in a house with someone who is toxic, can you imagine the partner not wanting to come home because they already know that they're going to face a lot of anxiety? Yeah.
Or if you're just in, you're dating someone and, don't necessarily live together, but the stress of talking to them, or maybe they're like a real negative individual, right? They'll have something to complain about, you know what I mean? And here they are, they're calling, and you have to make a decision.
You have to make a decision.
Should I slide this bar on the phone, or should I just cancel? That's anxiety.
It is, but it's somewhat. But my thing, and that's so hard, because you just said whatever is best for you, but sometimes it's hard for people to cut off those toxic relationships.
It is. It's difficult, depending on how long the relationship has been. There are those who, say, I don't want to really hurt anyone.
And you're killing yourself.
And you're killing. I like that. That's true. But I don't want to hurt nobody else, but you're going to kill yourself.
Right. So why do we value other people more than we value our own selves?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You have an obligation to protect yourself. First. So why am I looking out for someone else when you can set yourself free?
Exactly.
Because I always tell people to try to limit access to your triggers, because for some of us, family members is a huge trigger. Yeah. And we know we have to be around them, but how long is on us?
You can limit that. If you have a family member who is very toxic individual, you're at a family function, you know what I mean? When they come in the room, you leave out the room.
Hey, give them one of these.
Yeah, you smile. Really though. You're in control of that, because you know that they can possibly take you there.
Yes.
It's good to say hello and speak, and good to see you. Maybe not. Maybe you may not want to say that, but
right.
But however, you're in control of that.
You are in control.
Mhm.
Don't allow anyone to take your power away.
Yeah, for
Be
sure.
your most authentic self
For
that
sure.
you can possibly be. And like I said, sometimes that will have you physically remove yourself from the situation.
Yeah.
You know, but if you are in
I
a
believe that.
toxic relationship and you have chronic anxiety, you know, then you need to put it on the scale and see what weighs out. Should I stay,
Yeah.
you know, or should I go?
Yeah. And man, one of the I guess one of the conversations that can bring about anxiety is maybe the talk of marriage all the time, right? One wants to be married and the other one is just not quite ready, or they don't think that you're ready to be married. So, but the conversation always comes up, which brings up a bunch of anxiety, feelings, and emotions and things of that nature. So,
but I think that if you have a adult conversation, not superficial, about how you really feel, you know, because maybe I don't want to get married yet because I'm not ready to. I need to get A, B, C, D. You know, because if someone keeps bringing it up, that means that they're not getting their questions answered. You know, you can't give superficial answers like "we will, babe," but you know, one day, you know, give me a minute. Talk. Open up your mouth and say something.
That's true.
Remove my anxiety. Let me know what's going on.
Because you got options. You understand?
Indeed. So basically, you're not trapped.
Correct. Yeah.
You know, unless you empower another person to trap you.
Got you.
But that's something that you have given them permission to do.
Right. Okay.
You know, so we're talking about this anxiety here. So severe or chronic anxiety can contribute to life-threatening situations. We know that basically you can't really die from anxiety, you know, but, you know, there's indirect correlations with it because it produces so much stress and you're releasing like the cortisol. And then if you're a person who already have like heart conditions or respiratory conditions, then you're more prone to be affected by it and it'll be more severe.
Now with anxiety, is it true that anxiety can be hereditary?
Anxiety, yes.
It's hereditary.
Think about this. All right, you know, from slavery, right, and the paranoia, and the stress that we have lived through. We pass that stuff down through the bloodline. This is why when people come in, you know, for therapy, we always do a history on them. You know, their background information, who has what or whatever. But I'm telling you, basically for like a lot of our people, things have been passed down. You know, we don't even know why we have so much anxiety, but you know, it's in the blood.
So trauma, of course.
Yes.
You know, again, slavery. You know, and trauma is passed down from each generation to the next generation. But what really bothers me is that when we don't allow for our children, our babies, the little ones, to grow up in a stress-free environment. I believe the only worry, not even worry, but the only thing that a child has to worry about, what you know, is what shoes will I pick out to wear, or what's the next video game I'm going to play, right? But to put adult responsibilities on children can cause them, or is this true, anxiety.
Oh yeah, because it's role reversal and they shouldn't necessarily be, they weren't designed
like children,
to be in that role at that time.
They have adult responsibilities, children, 5, 6, 7, 8, right? So
yes.
Mom has a baby, then has another baby, and you're the oldest, and now you got to take care of that baby and, you know, make the bottles, you know, Pampers, run out and get this. It's the stress of you not being able to be a child.
And then you try to be a child later on in life.
And it's going to hurt that relationship, right?
Because it was not designed that way at all. But let me interject by saying that whatever you don't address, you give permission to exist. So sometimes parents are doing the best that they know how based on the information that they have.
Yeah.
And if they come
True.
from a toxic
True.
environment, you know what I mean? And things have been tumultuous in that household, they're going to, if they have not healed from that, they're going to carry all of who they are into whatever relationship.
Right.
So perhaps they've seen mama having baby after baby. This is their normal. It's a spirit of familiarity.
Yeah.
They don't know any different until a light is reflected and demonstrated, and then they can try to do something about it at that time.
Right.
You know, that's why I say it's really nobody's fault, because it's a vicious cycle, but then it becomes our responsibility once we are illuminated.
I got you. Yeah, that's true. I love that, because once you find out, once you know, once you have the information, okay, what am I going to do with this information now?
Yes.
You know, will I continue on in this way, or now I know how to fix this?
Right.
You know,
or I don't like who I am or what I'm doing and how it affects my children, because you can see the effects on your children. That should be motivation to bring about change.
Most definitely. Yeah, that is true. But I see it all the time, you know, children that, you know, they're stressed out.
Yes.
You know, they're really stressed out because of their adult responsibilities. Right?
Yes.
So, man,
it is sadly is kind of inevitable. And unless they get the help that they, you know what I mean? And this is why it takes like loved ones, brothers, and uncles, and to come in and try to intervene. Be like, little Johnny, you come spend a day with me.
Yeah. The stress of the relationship of the father and mother, or the father and the girlfriend, or, you know, the mother and the boyfriend, who's only temporary. Right. So the stress of the child who gets used to this person for a moment, deep down inside know that they're only going to be here for a minute.
They're hoping they'll stay.
Yeah, they're hoping that, but
right.
eventually, and then it may be a chaotic relationship where there's abuse. You know what I mean? And so that anxiety where a child is brought up in a toxic environment, where there's physical abuse, there's verbal abuse. And like you say, if your child or children is not cause and reason enough for you to make a decision, at least for them, for their lives,
that's right.
Take the stress off of them.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Because you can make a decision, or you can make a monster.
True.
Because you're role modeling behavior.
That's true. I like that.
In front of these children.
That's true.
You know what I mean? Whoever you.
Yeah. True.
Parents are your children's first teachers. And that's why the song says, be careful, little eyes, what you see, and little ears, what you hear, because they're taking it all in. So we have to be very, very careful. And I'm telling you, you know you better than anybody else. So why would you not get the help that you need? You know that your roots were rooted in terrible soil.
Yeah.
You know that yourself. So you are definitely going to have the effects of that bad soil. So just get the help that you need. We all have our thing.
Yeah.
We all have to put work in.
Somewhere.
Yes. And this is why we should come to therapy.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, we should, because if not, then you call yourself, you know, confiding in friends and getting a partner who understands you, but really what you're doing is trauma bonding.
Yeah. Okay.
You know what I mean?
Let me ask this question though, and it has to do with therapy, but the group therapy, right? How beneficial would group therapy be in a person's life? Does it make it easier for you to share, easier for you to talk about because you have others that are doing the same thing? Or do you find that people are more closed off because they need more of a one-on-one?
I've done both. So
Yeah.
I've done group therapy, and it's wonderful because now you feel like I'm not the only one,
Okay.
that there are other people out here who understands me. There's other people who have gone through and is going through what I'm going through.
Yeah.
Now I can build relationships with them. And now I'm more open to share. And now I'm listening to other people's stories.
Right.
And I'm listening to what they have done. And maybe
Yeah.
that's beneficial to my life, that I can apply it also.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
so group therapy is a wonderful thing.
Yeah. And if you're adult enough to be in that environment, to know, as you just stated, that you're not by yourself, and you find out by listening to others, and you kind of know it, but when you hear other people, you know, kind of share,
it's like testimony service,
like testimony service,
right? You know,
sure.
and you're like, okay, I'm not alone. I'm not the only one.
For sure. Yeah. So you need that strength and encouragement. You know, just to know that, hey, I'm not by myself.
That's right.
Right.
That's
but we all want to receive some good information to get up out of it.
But the thing is that you have to put the work in.
Yeah.
You first of all, get beyond your pride, because what you're doing is
That's
not working for you.
That's huge. Getting beyond your pride. That's huge.
Well, even the Bible talks about pride comes before a fall.
Yeah.
You cannot get ahead being full of pride, because pride is ego, ego, which is edging God out.
You'll never get to the place that you aspire to be at if pride is, I mean, that pride keeps you from reaching.
Yes.
From going to.
It's a repellent to success.
Fully becoming.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So it's there to got to get rid of it, right?
That's right.
You have to get rid of it.
That's right. You know, so get the help that you need. And this is why I love talk therapy, individual therapy.
Yeah.
You know, if you don't want to go before a group, but like some clients who are suicidal, you know, that's part of their step down process. After they get out the hospital, then they step them down to partial hospitalization, which, you know, I ran those groups, you know, but I love my clients for sure. And they love me. But so you may be kind of forced to go to a group, but it is okay, y'all. We need each other in this world.
For sure.
You know, so no problem is an isolated problem.
I mean, think about it, especially in the arena that we're in, which is church. You know what I mean? Religion, God, being saved, and then what does being saved look like? Or do saved people respond this way? Or you're not really saved if this keeps happening to you. I mean, you know what I mean? All the things that go along with church and what we call salvation. If we would really come together, sit down and talk and reason with one another to find out, hey, we have a lot of similarities.
But we have to be open and honest.
That was my next point. That was my next point. You have to be to thine own self.
Be true.
Be true, right? So just because you're saved, it does not mean that you don't go through bouts of anxiety and things of that nature. It may come and go, right?
Yes.
It may be here this week, and in the next few months it's gone, but eventually it may come back.
It is circumstantial.
It's circumstantial. So the truth of it needs to be talked about, especially in the church world.
Because there are so many biblical characters that suffered from depression.
Man, listen, for sure.
And also anxiety.
For sure. I think we talked about it last week, Paul, all the things that Paul went through, and he's the greatest preacher ever. But you know, he went through depression, anxiety, everything included, because of the situations that he found himself in.
That's right. Yes.
Yeah.
And you talk about Paul, and what about Moses?
Yeah, of course, man. You're dealing with some folk in God, and you go down there and they done made images.
And he has a speech impediment too, and you want me to be a leader?
Yeah, exactly.
Anxiety. You're like, no, Lord, you have a sense of humor. Like they're going to listen to me.
Anxiety.
So he had a lot of fear, worry.
Yeah. For sure.
I can imagine the sleepless nights, like God is calling me to do the impossible. Now he knows I have a speech impediment. He knows that I am in fear. He want me to go and talk to somebody. Sure. But that sounds like God. You know, God does have a sense of humor.
That says, if you lean on me,
I won't let you fall. Yeah, and then like Elijah, as powerful as he was, he was overcome by fear.
Overcome by fear.
And worry.
Jeremiah, we can call it road because those in the scriptures are actual people. So we need to know that.
Yes.
Right. And I talk about that a lot when, whenever trying to minister to someone about not leaving the church. Right. Or, I mean, when I say church, the body of Christ. Right. Because they feel as if, hey, I thought I would be so much ahead from where I am, or keep falling back, or whatever the case may be. You kind of try to teach them the reality of what salvation is all about.
Yes.
It's worth it. And anything that's worth.
That's right.
It's worth fighting for. Anything of value is worth fighting for.
Yes.
So you have to fight for your salvation, man.
And the thing
to
about,
maintain and keep it.
And the thing about God is that he is going to bring whatever you need to overcome to light, because he's with you, and you have to face your fears, right?
To face your fears.
Yeah, but for some of us, we function from our shadow self, or we all have a shadow self that we tuck away, and we don't want to address those issues, but we keep running into those same issues over, and this is why we're defeated.
This is what
over
Isaiah
and over
said.
again.
Isaiah 41:10 says, "Fear not, for I am with you. Be not dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you. Yes, I will help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand."
And he will.
Most definitely.
But again, it calls for us to face our fears. Once we face our fears, we have to put the work in.
For sure.
And so we can't blame God. Like, why am I still going through this?
That's the key. The key word is putting the work in. So I can tell you all, I can give you all this information, but if you don't work what I've given you, God is a miracle worker, but he needs for you to participate in your miracle.
That's right. And he is a comforter, and he's going to be there. Like when I assign homework for clients to journal, it's so hard for some of them to journal, because now you have to deal with yourself.
Yeah, because you won't write it.
Now I got to write it down and look at it.
As you're writing it down. For sure.
But there's a method to the madness. There's a reason why we say to journal. And I tell clients to ask God to come into the room with you as you begin writing. The Holy Spirit he's never going to leave you alone, but he does want you to he's not going to do all the work. You have to put the work in also. So before I answer this next question, I want to know how anxiety feels on some of you all. How do you know that you are anxious? How do you know that you are anxious? And some of the feelings or components of anxiety, we have ruminating thoughts, like you try to lay down at night and your mind won't turn off, right? You have heart palpitations, you have difficulty breathing. Some people sweat, some people have this feeling of impending doom. You don't know why, but it's just like sits like an elephant sitting on your chest. You know what I mean? So I want to know from some of you, how do you know that you have anxiety, and what have you done to cope with that or to manage it? All right. So the question says, from a clinical standpoint, what are some of the most common root causes of anxiety? One of the main common roots of anxiety is certainly worry. You have some people who are professional worriers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're very negative, and they catastrophize. Everything is a burden. Everything is a problem, So that's one of them. Another one, as we already discussed, is biological. It can come down through the family line, and then a lot of it is a lack of trust. It's a lack of trust, and also a desire to be in control. That's where a huge part comes from, because you're the type of person you like to have all your ducks in a row. You need to know where everything is, how it's going to work.
You're in trouble. Huh?
Yes, indeed.
Everyone else is in trouble.
Right. Yeah, because you're driving everybody else crazy, and of course, trauma. Of course, trauma. I remember when I got into that car accident. I had so much anxiety. I did not want to drive down 256 anymore.
Yeah.
I just didn't. And that's what anxiety will do to you. It causes great fear, so I was avoiding that intersection because I was having a flashback. I'm like, Kimberly, you cannot allow the situation to take you over, to overwhelm you and empower you. Right. I knew that I had to face my fear. Right. I knew, but I didn't want to, but I knew that God was with me. Yeah. I'm like, okay, God, if you are the God that you say you are, I am going to do this. Yeah. And I would just arbitrarily go down that area. I would, of course, do my deep breathing, y'all. Yeah. I would go through the intersection, do my deep breathing, but I would do it more and more.
We all handle that differently. When anxiety comes upon us, we all kind of deal with it differently. You know what I mean? So whatever your best way of dealing with it, coping with it, getting by, or, just to be able to get you to a good place, to do it. Things that affect you affect me differently.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So it's about how do we, for ourselves.
That's right. Yeah, yes. Because we're all bio individuals. So it's going to impact us differently. But then having that empathy for one another, for sure. Helping each other, to calm down. All right. There's a question. What role does prayer or spiritual discipline play in calming an anxious heart?
It's just if you're in that faith zone, you know what I mean? The family of faith, then we know that's our go-to. You know what I mean? It's to talk to God about it, right? It's to go to God in prayer about it. And if you're disciplined enough to pray on the regular, it helps anxiety to lessen daily.
Yes.
Because you've already sent that timber up a long time ago.
Yeah. And then sometimes life happens, the unexpected happens, and then it just hits you harder. Yeah. You know what I mean? But I'm always reminded of that scripture that says, when my heart is overwhelmed,
lead me.
Listen, I got to find my rock. And we should all have that place in our home.
For sure.
That we can go to and meet God there. We all have, I don't care if it's a closet, wherever you meet God, because like when you were diagnosed in 2020 and I came home, you talking about, I know that I'm a woman of prayer, but that night when I got that news, I was overwhelmed with fear, worry, and anxiety.
Hebrews, real quick, 13:6 says, so we can confidently say the Lord is my helper, and I will not fear what man can do to me. The fact that he is our helper, period. We need to know that. So he's our go-to. You know what I mean? So prayer and discipline ourselves in prayer, knowing that we always have, our helper there. He's there to help.
That's right.
To help.
But it's amazing though. We can trust God for salvation. To deliver us from hurt, harm, and ruin, right? That's what salvation is. But then when it comes to our daily...
we don't like to include him in what we call small things. I don't think God... There are some people that believe that God does not get involved, in man's affairs. They actually
what in the world?
Because he's too high to come down so low.
News flash for you.
Situations, you know what I mean? So some people believe that, but I'm not one.
Let me look at y'all real good. God, we serve the type of God that is concerned with every area of your life, and he wants to be involved. It's just like any relationship that you have. I want to know what bothers you, you know what I mean, and what concerns you. God is no different. I call on him so much. I'm like, God, am I getting on your nerves?
I know. I ain't gonna answer that.
I know. I'm glad you are not God, but I need him every second of the day.
For sure.
And I love that song that says, I called and he answered.
Yeah, for sure.
Yes, he is always there. So never, ever think that. So are you putting comments in there? How do you know when you are anxious? This is something that we've all been through. So surely you all can comment on
that. How do you know that you, well, that's the question right now.
That is a question.
How do you know that you're anxious? I say those heart
palpitations.
When it speeds up and you're sweaty and you kind of like your mind kind of all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, you kind of have that inside thing letting you know that you're uncomfortable.
Yes. And for me, I feel pressure.
Okay.
And my pressure is like on my shoulders and my neck. Sometimes my neck could get stiff.
Yeah.
And I know that that's a lot of stress and that's a lot of anxiety.
The Bible talks about you stiff-necked people. I do want you to know that. But go ahead.
That is out of context. y'all know that's out of context.
Hey,
but seriously, I want to know, because our bodies keep the score.
Right.
And the body wants to be in homeostasis at all times. So the body is going to speak to you, whether if it is a stiff neck or your palms are sweaty, you know what I mean? Or if your leg is, you're sitting down and your leg is jumping all the time, or whether if you're grabbing that fidget and you don't know it. I mean, speak to me, y'all. How do you know that you are anxious? Maran says, my emotions aren't settled. That's how I can tell my anxiety is present. So when you say your emotions aren't settled, are you going through an array of emotions? Are you happy one minute, sad the next, tearful? What do you mean by your emotions are not settled?
And when you think about that, it's like working through that moment, because we are always going to have some form of anxiety. But how do you work through that?
That's a good question.
How do you work through that? So you have to do what's best for you to get on the other side of the anxiety. Then when you get through, you just look back and say, because it's a relief and a release knowing I just worked through that. It wasn't so bad. It wasn't as bad as I thought it was.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's about how do you work through your anxiety.
But a lot of people won't address it though. That your body is speaking to you, and then for some of us, we don't want to deal with it. So either we'll get really busy doing things, so we won't deal with it, or some of us will sleep it away. But either way, you're demonstrating like an avoidant type behavior. You have to deal with it. And I have to go back to my acronym, ASK, ASK. When things happen to us, we have to radically accept it, because y'all, it is what it is. It's here. It's in your face. Whether if it is a loss of a job or you've been laid off, the federal government and all this stuff. Y'all, because you want to accept your reality. You can't move forward being in denial. Okay. The S is go ahead and sit with it. Go ahead and process that thing. If you're angry, admit you're angry. Name it. Whatever feeling, emotion you have. I'm sad. I'm frustrated. Be to thy own self.
That's how you feel.
Be true.
Yeah, that's how you feel.
And only after you've taken those first steps, then you can do the K. Keep it moving. Yeah,
for sure.
You don't want to get stuck there, because now you're talking about pitching the tent in depression.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So, I mean, and whenever you think about going through these emotions and not knowing how to work through it, at some point you're going to have to find a way to work through this anxiety. To get past, because it may be something that always comes on you, period, right? Regardless of what you do. But now you know how to get through it. Even though here it is again, I'm asked to do this again. I have the same anxiety. Well, it's not going to be that. Okay, Lord. So for me, it helps me to invoke the presence of God even more.
Yes.
Right. When I get to that place of having that anxiety, or say you've been preaching for so long and all this, I still have that moment because I don't like to be out in front of people.
Yeah, I get it.
However, it's what I'm called to do. So it's a lot of anxiety that come with it.
Yes.
Every Sunday, anxiety. People think you just, it's easy for you. But it makes me lean on him even more.
That's right.
Okay, Lord, I need you.
You
are my helper, so I need you.
That's right.
To kind of get me through this part.
That's right. So Maran says her emotions are internally extreme, causing me to withdraw and think way too much while doing other things. And I would definitely recommend you to have a worry time to sit down and just write all those thoughts and those feelings out on paper, because it's better out of your head and onto paper. All right. So you're addressing it. You're not ignoring it. You know what I mean? And you're leaving space in your head for more conducive thoughts, and you're getting rid of the negative thoughts, and you're putting those down on paper. So journaling is going to be very, very beneficial for you.
Great answer. Great answer. You know, and I think this conversation is such a strong conversation. And when you don't get a lot of comments and response from people chiming in, because it could be a sensitive area. You know what I mean?
Well, this is Talk Therapy Live, so it's free therapy.
Is that what it is? Yeah. But you have
therapy.
to be bold enough to put it out there. Like she just put that out there about herself. You know, maybe, you just don't.
Right.
But I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying that's what you're here for. Just be adult enough to be able to put this out there.
And perhaps they're taking in the information. The information is here, and they can go back and look at it again. You know what I mean? But if y'all need me, I am Kimberly Bozeman, the owner of Healthy Emotes Counseling Services. And if you want to make an appointment, 614-669-5115. And I'm only doing telehealth. All right. And we do certainly want to talk about some of the natural remedies, because what happens when people have extreme and chronic anxiety, they tend to self-soothe, right? And self-medicate. You know what I mean? So substance abuse.
I need a drink to calm my nerves.
Indeed.
You know what I mean? So some people function better and then if they don't have that, they're in trouble.
The alcohol,
because it's their go-to.
The marijuana,
it's their go-to.
Sex, shopping,
for sure. Call the road.
Seriously,
because that's how you deal with it.
Yes. But there are more natural remedies where we don't have to reach outside of ourselves. All we got to do is tap into the source. All right. Let's see what Dr. Owens is saying. She knows that she is anxious because she has racing thoughts and staying busy. So certainly mindfulness, do some mindful meditation or some visual meditation. When you do the visual meditation, you're in your meditation with your five senses, right? So it's, what do I see in this visual meditation? What do I hear? So your mind is focused on one thing. You're having a single thought, and you're drawing your mind in, and then you're causing your body to relax, and you're causing your mind and your body to be at peace and in harmony with each other.
And this has to be explained and expressed to the church, right? Because you just said some things that are kind of out of the way of the norm for those of us that do attend church and all of that, because I'm pray about it and let it go. Leave it alone. But you're talking about mindfulness and meditation and things of that nature. So it has to be explained to the church. It has to be explained to the body of Christ what that looks like.
When would you like for me to do the workshop?
I'm very serious though. I mean, it has to be, because when we're not used to this kind of information, then some people kind of demonize. What do you mean meditation? Mindfulness. It's a foreign language to those who are in the body of Christ for some. You know what I mean? It's about trying to explain,
right? I get it.
To the rest of the body of Christ of what that really looks like, right? So they're not feeling like they're asked to do something that that is what word I want to use. Help me out. How long you been with me? They're not asked to do something that is kind of over the top, or what I want to say. Super spiritual, or something that has to do with voodoo, or that's what I'm trying to. Right. You got to help me out.
Right.
I mean, you ain't even helping me.
I'm trying to see where you're. Listen, I serve the one that's omniscient. I am not here. I am not.
But I'm just saying. I'm just saying that they need, so they don't feel like they are doing something that they should not be doing.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
They don't want
Well,
to feel like they're about to have an out of body experience or something like that, right?
yeah,
This is real talk.
right.
So we have to know about how to do it. You know about it.
Right,
not
exactly.
too
And
many.
and that's why I do what I do on Talk Therapy
Yeah,
Live.
yeah. So
Definitely sharing the information.
yeah.
So the Bible talks about meditation. I don't know how many scriptures that
For
there's
sure.
like over 100 scriptures on meditation. We
meditating on this word day and night.
Yes. And I love mindfulness, and I remind myself to be mindful all the time. It's like being in the moment.
Right.
Because your mind is here, it's there.
Now, see how simple that is, right?
Mhm.
But it just needs to be explained. You talk about mindfulness. I mean, what? Because we just need to know.
Mindful, being full
right.
in that moment, being fully present
Exactly.
in that moment.
You're
know what I mean?
doing well.
And it's like, and this really helps people with like ADHD because, oh my goodness, we can be all over the place, like a helicopter, just here, there, and never. But when you practice mindfulness, okay, what was it that I was supposed to be doing in the first place? Okay, remain there until, and then pay. And then another part of the mindfulness is paying attention to your body too, because we're talking about anxiety, like paying attention to your body. How do you feel right now? Let's see here. And then we'll talk about, because we have a few minutes left, some of the more natural coping remedies. What biblical principles or stories can help believers facing anxiety feel seen and supported?
I think I gave Isaiah 41:10 and Hebrews 13 and something.
And what is that? Psalms, when my heart is overwhelmed, lead me to the rock.
And then, Hebrews 13:6. Joshua 1:9. Have I not commanded you? Be strong and of good courage. Do not be afraid, nor be dismayed, for the Lord your God is with you wherever you go. So there are so many scriptures that will help us and help you in that place of anxiety.
Yes.
We just have to, I think the preacher said it last night, you just got to read the word.
You got to read the word.
And
that's just like Jesus was full of fear, worry, and anxiety, where the Bible says that
it's a natural response to
an event.
I think you said it last time. It's just a natural response.
Yes.
But you can't allow that to hold you captive.
I mean, he was sweating drops of sweat like it was blood.
Yeah.
Which is related to stress.
For sure.
You know what I mean? So we know if Jesus had he said, Lord, take this cup away from me.
If it be your will, take this.
Right.
I don't really want to, but I'm going to because it's your will.
Because he's 100% man. And 100% God. So he knew the manly part of him was really going to get ready to suffer.
For sure.
He said, but nonetheless, so, and we know David, oh my goodness, he had so much
many
going
biblical
on,
characters, but as believers, we just have to know that life happens to us all. And the remedy is in the word of God of how to handle those crisis of anxiety.
That's right.
When that time comes, the answer is in the word, but if you don't read it, you won't know.
You won't know it. You won't know it. Yeah. So we have the word, which always works. The word of God brings about permanent change. And then we have natural remedies, which again, you can come see Kimberly Bones, Mental Health Emotes. I'll help you out on that. When you put the two together, you're into great change. Because
and a good friendship. If you have a good friendship with someone where you can kind of open up and get that off of you, you need to talk about it's a no judgment zone of how I feel, that you need to utilize that person.
That's right. We all need a good support system.
We all need a good support system.
Have a good support system, and then talk to someone who know what they're talking about.
For sure. You always,
So we talked about meditation and we talked about mindfulness. Another good remedy is progressive muscle relaxation. Have you heard of that?
No.
You sure?
I'm sure. It's for
okay, so
it's for you to explain.
So progressive muscle relaxation is just where you tighten up different muscle groups of your body and you hold it for like a count of 4, and then you release it for a count of 4. And you can start with your toes all the way up. By the time you're done, you're so relaxed. You know, you have reduced your anxiety probably by like 3 to 4 points. All right.
Wow.
So that's progressive muscle relaxation. I want you to try that when we.
Well, yeah, I was going to ask you to do me.
What?
Yeah. Yeah,
I cannot do that for you.
Well, you said something about from your feet on up. I know, I heard that. You just said that,
so
right?
I need you to ball your toes under.
No, I thought maybe if you
tense
take
and tight.
your hands.
Oh no. Okay, we're gonna keep on moving, y'all, because he off track
You don't
right
touch
now.
my feet.
All right, and then grounding.
It's called humility, but go ahead.
And then
You know about.
and then grounding techniques, y'all. All right. So if like for Marvon, she said she has racing thoughts. Camille said that she has racing thoughts, and you can just feel so just out of sorts. You need to sit and you need to ground yourself. So sit down, do some deep breathing, and then begin to name things that you see in the room. This is called grounding, like 5 things that I see, 4 things that I hear, 3 things that I smell, you know, and kind of take notice of how your body is feeling. You know what I mean? Are you sitting on a hard surface or a soft surface? You're just like really bringing yourself back into reality because you're really scattered.
So check this out, though. I believe if we know more about our bodies, we'll understand what it is that you're saying.
That's right. Yes.
And how it is. But I think we know so little about our bodies.
There's so much intelligence there.
Correct. And we don't know how to respond to certain things or how to make ourselves better by the way that we're made.
Our bodies are always speaking to us.
Yeah. We just don't have the information about how we are fearfully and wonderfully made. And so mindfulness and meditation, all things that you're
tuning into yourself.
Yes. You know, from
the toes on up.
The toes, you know what I mean?
Yes.
We just don't know how we are made and what things we can do to make life easier for ourselves.
That's why you need to come see Kimberly Bozeman.
Just like all the like the certain parts in your hand will move to a certain part of your heart and your chest the same way in
that feels nice. Do that again.
Exactly. So you know what I mean?
The touch, y'all.
Yeah. Relax yourself. You seem kind of tense. Are you have anxiety?
I don't.
Relax yourself just a little bit.
Okay.
I'm telling you.
That's
but we
so
need
good.
to know how our bodies work.
That's right. That will
help us a great deal. Real quick, what do you think about hypnosis?
I love hypnosis.
Right? No,
it's not. I love hypnotherapy.
Hypnotherapy. See, I said it that way so that it can be explained again to those that don't understand what it is. So you're going to hypnotize me. You know, I'm not going to know what I'm doing. Right?
Where's the cup and the spoon?
Right. Yeah.
You will always be in full control.
Okay.
I can't do anything without you knowing about it because you're awake, but it's almost like, okay, there's 2 examples that I want to give you. Number 1, it's like you sitting there binge watching TV because you ain't there. Your mind is just on whatever is going on. You are hypnotized by whatever you're looking at. And then some people are hypnotized with food. Oh, they are just throwing. They disappear, y'all. They're sitting in front of you, but they're so engrossed in their right. Yeah, you look at them and their eyes are glazed over, and they're hypnotized by the food. And that's basically how it is in hypnotherapy. You know what I mean? You are still aware of everything that is going on, you know, and what I like to do, the type of hypnotherapy that I like to do is age regression hypnotherapy, because a lot of our hurt and our pain and our damages come from childhood. And the child within us will run and ruin our adult life if we don't bring healing to that part of us.
Now, my next question is,
oh Lord,
is there any way to do like a group type of hypnotherapy? Okay, I just wanted to know because it makes other people feel comfortable.
Yes.
Okay.
But you shouldn't do it if you're not comfortable with whose hands that you're in.
Gotcha. For sure.
You got to know that that person can be trusted. You know what I mean? So I wouldn't want somebody come to me and they're not really sure if, because I need your participation.
Sure.
It's
Gotcha.
all about you. It's not even about Kimberly.
Gotcha.
I just want you to be healed. But
That's
I
called
have seen
age.
wonderful results.
Yeah.
Wonderful results.
So what is it called? The kind
age
of
regression.
age regression.
Yes, where we go back and heal that inner child. Yeah, it's some good stuff, y'all.
That's great.
It's just,
now I think you need to do some classes on that.
Again.
Seriously,
Okay.
man, that is so helpful to so many of us, that have gone through certain things during that time period.
Yes, and we're fragmented.
Lives,
we're fragmented. That part of us has been tucked away.
For sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's good stuff, man.
You just let me know when you're ready for me.
Listen, I got some stuff for you to do.
I bet you do.
For sure.
Okay, I also want to talk about, because LOVE essential oils. Oh my God! Not only do they smell good, they have so many healing qualities. So if you're one that suffers from anxiety, of course, lavender, y'all. When y'all take a shower, don't dry off yet. Get a couple drops of lavender, put it in the palm of your hand, just rub it all on you, and just pat yourself dry. You will definitely see some benefits there. Cedar wood and chamomile, right, is always good, even if you drink chamomile tea. And y'all know that I'm a fan of ashwagandha for anxiety. All right. Do your breathing. That is so easy. It's simple, but yet profound. I want y'all to do the 4-7-8 breathing. Inhale for 4, hold for 7, exhale through your mouth for a count of 8.
Do that, and also hang around till 12:30 when the Assembly of Faith Church will be on live.
Yes. Don't forget your worry journal. Do regular exercise.
Yes.
And for some of you who have panic attacks or whatever, breathe into that bag.
So exercise is like one that we really should have focused on. That's how big is that?
It's huge.
Is it huge?
Exercise is going to help anxiety. It's going to help depression, and it's going to help your mind.
So you got to get out and get that body moving.
Get your body moving.
Blood circulating.
That's right.
Heart pumping.
Come on.
Am I right?
You right about it.
Come on.
Yes.
Somebody.
Well, we're out of time, y'all.
Almost.
Yes. But thank you so much for tuning in to Talk Therapy Live. Again, I'm Kimberly Bozeman, owner of Healthy Emotes Counseling Services, and I'm with the wonderful co-host.
Come on.
The Honorable
Talk about
Bishop.
Is that me? Lord have mercy. Great to be here.
Don't forget to smile. I want to see pictures of y'all smiling faces on my Facebook page, Healthy Emotes. All right. I'm sorry. No, that's the wrong Facebook page. Go to Talk Therapy Live and post your smiling face. Smile.